How is it different? No, relax. I want to be able to break this. Random thing. Purple hats have beats.
See purple hats, purple shirts, purple stuff on the upstairs.
It's crazy. The room is confidence around you. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
No idea.
All I know is it's like they are trying to post something, they're pushing for something. I don't know.
Nah. So this case is Africa. Let me just read it. So was this case, is this 7-year-old girl that was sexually assaulted, something like that, by 2 men. Yeah. And then the police refused to produce evidence, like DNA evidence about it. So everyone is like, no, system failure. So the whole thing is more of a campaign like against gender-based violence.
No, it's it.
Yeah, okay, for me, I don't sound like I'm sexist or anything, but like, I think GBV is more. There's a stereotype on GBV.
Okay.
It's more focused on the females.
Yeah, that's how it is. Even that's how it is. If you the man, you cannot go and enforce.
Yeah, exactly what I mean. There's so many cases here in Zambia. There's so many cases men's private parts have been cut off by their wives. We don't hear anything about it.
I do think this is the right time to have, because, okay, look, a lot of people are trying to push the cause. Okay, a lot of people think as a GBV is for females, but it's for everyone. But usually society, women are the most vulnerable. So they tend to be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to such things. Maybe.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I say that you want to sound sexist.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But what I'm saying is, I feel most of the GBV cases, it's mostly about females. Because look at the Purple Hearts campaign. I mean, let's not look at it as a 7-year-old girl was raped. A person was raped, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she was assaulted. Let it be, you know, like, a person was assaulted. It should be jailed. Like,
That's great.
yeah.
7.
Even the campaign, why can't we all do like some campaign against
Because the guy was, an own was raped.
What's wrong with that?
When you talk of such things to do with gender, we are more to women than men. Because we don't have the Ministry of Men Affairs, but we have the Ministry of
Women's affairs.
Exactly.
See, we've never. That's what I'm saying. It's always focused on the females. I don't understand why. I mean, men, you know, we're vulnerable because we're pictured as people who are strong. You know, that's how I look at it. I mean, you only have your own weaknesses. Everybody does. So I don't think just because men are, you know, supposed to be perceived as independent and all that, you know, the physical strength superior to females, we equally have our own vulnerabilities.
So in this case, in the case of the purple cause and everything, what are you suggesting?
I'm against it being
The whole campaign.
no, against it being focused on the girl child or females. Let it be a gender-based violence campaign about, you know, everybody being violated. Why is it only focused on the females?
Like the campaign should include men, even those men who are.
Exactly. Look at the people that are protesting. It's just females that you see walking on the streets. Maybe a few days here and there. But yeah.
No, I get you.
Yeah,
It's really made. It's all over the internet.
Anyway, that's what you want to talk about today.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, for the controversy. Welcome to the 6th episode of Atshimike Podcast. I'm your host, George, also with
Mr. Mom.
yeah, and we have an interesting guest, Mr.
from the Kumwenda. Yes. Yeah, I'm a student, and a businessman. I also do church. I love church. I love church.
I hope I didn't offend you in any way when I was talking about whole gender case.
No. Some of these things, like the more I them, the more you experience them. Like there are some things, of course, you know, sometimes they do it. So supposed to take things as they are. Not like trying to like pretend just to make the other person feel nice. I think in the end it's even hurtful than if you told the person the truth.
Yeah, and I'm the person that hits the nail. I don't like beating around the bush. Go straight to the point.
So you from people, how do you take criticism? Because a lot of people are very from.
I'm actually very open to criticism.
Oh, really?
But like when you criticize me, you come from a valid point of view. You don't just come attacking you.
That's how they fix you out. I know, I get it.
There's not indulging.
Yeah.
Mr. Kumwenda chatted about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
As a businessman, as a student, as a religious guy, I really like to know how you balance all of that. It's quite involving, I mean, when you look at the religious aspect, you have to be at church, there's commitment to going to church, then there's business, which is also involving, time consuming, then there's school that requires a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
So that's a very crazy combination, Mr. Kumwenda. You tell us about how you handle all of that.
I think what I would say is that when you're talking of balancing things, I think I would say you're supposed to know everything is very important. Everything, all things, church is important, business is important, school is important, everything, even going to a friend to go and start something, so everything is important. But you have to know which one is the most important at each and every time. That's what matters. Where are you supposed to be at this time? Even what we are doing here, we understand that there are some other things we're supposed to be doing, but we have come here just because we know to say this is what is important at this time. Yeah. So there are also others, maybe you are like coaching people, that is what is important at that time for them. Yeah. So it's up to you to know what is the most important. Because sometimes it becomes difficult to balance up here and there. And sometimes you don't even know to say you are failing to balance. You are not balancing. You don't even know to only go and say, you have 45 in MA. Oh, that's when you realize, no, I'm not balancing. Yeah, because people say numbers don't lie. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, it's evident. Yeah, so sometimes you might not notice that I'm not balancing until you get the results. Yeah. So from your results, you tell if you're balancing or not. But it's not something easy. It's not something easy. You need to be very sharp in all things because you have to balance up. You're supposed to be good academically such that if you sit to study, you're not supposed to be taking long to understand the concept. You're supposed to be very sharp to understand, very quick to understand. You're supposed to, I don't know how which term I could use, but that's how it is. So that you should have time for others. Now imagine you are taking just to understand the simple simultaneous in MA, you are taking 2 hours. How are you going to handle business? How are you going to
but then what would you say about the people that, the businessmen that failed? Like, they failed school-wise, what's your take on those people?
But they're doing well in business.
Yes, they're doing well in business, but then they are poor. And yes.
What I would say is that in the area where you are not doing, it means you are lacking light in that area. You don't have enough knowledge in that area. So if you choose, for example, start doing a business, the only business which can fail is the business you don't understand. So if a person is is doing business but he has failed academics, it doesn't mean he's down or anything. No, it's just lacking certain information on how to go about school or maybe such things. I think that it's not really that they have failed or anything. I think the way we are created is we can do anything. Anyone can do anything. There's nothing like this one is good at football. Yes, there are such people who are talented, but you can learn football. You can learn all things, I think I would say. So even those who is not doing, if the person is not doing well academically, just that person go to those who are doing well and learn how they do things.
Yeah. But for me, my take, I think I don't know about you so much, but I feel even when you look at it from a Christian perspective, there's this whole thing of being blessed in a certain area.
Yeah.
Everybody has their individual strengths. So, how would you advise somebody who's just there are people that are just poorly, they're just poorly academic, when it comes to academics, they're just bad.
Yeah.
So how would you advise it? But then, business-wise, they're okay.
Yeah, okay.
What would you tell somebody like that?
What I would say is, if you have noticed to say you are not good at school and you are very good in business, you concentrate on business. That's what I would say. But the only thing what I also know is that you can improve in all areas. But of course, maybe for instance you are doing business, you can just maybe improve you up to 6, but you can be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So if for instance you have seen to say you're not good at academics, concentrate on business. Remember, I'm sure the goal is the same. At the end of the day, what we need is money to do what we want.
Yeah.
So someone will get it in school, someone will get it in business, someone in different ways, right? Yeah. So if you see to say school is not working for you, business is working for you, like in fact, the people who are running most of big companies, they don't have these PhDs and all that. Yeah, they are not part of, I think, of the equation, because what I would say is that when you are educated, especially to a certain extent, you start like that, overthinking, which promotes procrastination, which is not okay. Yeah, and also those who are they what would I say, like
They tend to make.
they are not risk takers. Yeah, they are scared of doing most of the things. Like you might see an opportunity, but like, what if? Those who are educated, they are like trying to figure it out to achieve just something simple. So, like the idea is, for instance, if the way they teach us in school, for you to solve a problem in mathematics, you're supposed to know the problem from the beginning before you even attempt it. So, for instance, if you don't know simultaneous, there is no need for you to start attempting it.
Yeah.
But business doesn't offer that. You can go about it even if you don't have the full information. You can learn as you are going.
But don't you think the chances of you, I think you spend a lot of money and resources when you have a learning as you go process,
Yeah, you will face a lot of challenges, especially yes, financially and all those things. But I think I would tell you, so there's no one who knows how to reach a goal until he reaches the goal.
Yeah.
So there is nothing like how you have to know like how to be a billionaire for you to become one. You have to know how to be a fourth year for you to be one. It's supposed to just start the process, learn as you go, and all those things. It helps, and of course you need a lot of instruction from those, especially who have gone ahead of you. Then maybe if you are investigators, you can be asking the second years, fourth years, and how you go about it. So if you let's talk of business. Supposed to ask those who have done it like
So now, like you know how it is, university has a lot of things, school has a lot of areas. You find people excel in sports, people are involved in different extracurricular activities, maybe politics and everything. So I'll give you an example of politics, which is an area you like explore. Do you think the change, the drive you had when you are entering the political space is the same drive you enter with next, like in the future to operate politics at some point?
Yeah, I think I still need, like, I would want to be a member of parliament or a minister of something. The hunger is still there because of what I've seen. I don't think the way we are doing politics, according to me, of course, that's the way politics should be done, right? Yeah, of course, you might have a different view of like, okay, maybe things are okay. And maybe those who are in politics might be saying things are okay. But according to me, I don't think the way politics are it's the way it's supposed to be. So that's why I would want to be part of the politics, because most of the politics we have is where, like, if you are a member of parliament, just know that if you leave office, they are coming after you. There are such things, and for me,
Actually, I don't like drilling on the whole political thing, but I have a question for you. You're saying you don't like many things at time. But every time someone is coming in power, they're always talking about change. Like, I'm going to change this, I'm going to do what, I'm going to better the economy. So, for you, what would you say is the change that you can bring in if you were given?
I think what I would say is that we need more leaders than politicians in that space. But of course, most of the people we have are politicians. those who are good at talking. Politicians are very good at talking. So they even say what they can't do. And also there is a system. So even if you are put there, as long as you are operating in the same system, there is nothing you can do because the system restricts you from doing this. Oh, you can't do this unless this minister signs it. So I think that's.
I'm looking for a certain significance.
Like what I will.
Yes, what would you do that would be different? You know, because I mean, we talked about us needing leaders, not politicians, so to say. So if you're to come in as a leader, what exactly are you going to put in that's going to be different from the things we've been seeing?
If I become like, let's say I attain I think the greatest position, which is the president, that's maybe when I'll change a lot of things. I would change most of the processes there. Because most of the things the minister or whatever should sign to whatever. You should, when you talk of leadership, you should give people power. You should give people power. These people we call politicians, according to me, they don't have powers. Because someone is the councillor, is the district commissioner. He can't do anything unless he inquires from the. So me, if I come in, I'll give those people power to make their own decisions. They're able to do that. And the truth is that for every right thinking person, he wants to do what is good for everyone. There's no such thing that is there to steal and all those things. Sometimes things just get difficult and the poor systems we have.
So, fair enough. But I feel like, from the things you're saying, right? It's not everyone who has good intention. So how in your system, how you are going to ensure that you manage to filter out those bad? How is it going to be able to bring those people?
I mean, just something to contribute to what you're saying. I think it's the same thing with everyone. When you look at the former ruling government, the former what he was at PF under Lungo's regime. Personally, I don't think Lungo was a bad person. But you see, like when we look at politics, it's a body, like it's a whole system. So, see what I was asking about significance. Because you can come in saying you want change, but then you can't grow individual. See, I feel that's the problem we have, right?
I think when you talk of one of the things which are difficult when you talk about politics, like you are saying, to say Lungo was good, and it's because of it doesn't really have powers. The president doesn't have powers like we say the president have. He can't do anything. Even if he wants to do, they are like, no, I'm not supposed to do it. But it's the president. For me, I'm against such systems. That's why I think it would be better if you just go back to where kings are. You know one of the why kings and chiefs are more successful than the presidents and all that. The kings have powers. If the king says this, everyone has to listen. But the president, you have the right to argue with the president. Me, I can argue. No, and there is nothing they can do. Just the normal me, I can argue. But I can't argue in anything. If a chief says to say this is supposed to be this, no one has the right to say no. That's what I think. What we need. We need to give those people in.
You're talking of a dictatorship,
which is okay.
That's crazy. Which is okay. Imagine. You know dictatorships. Imagine a say if you commit a crime, and if you still chop your head off. See, that's how dictatorships are, and there are good decisions that are fast, and then there are bad ones. So it comes with its disadvantages and advantages.
So
just like the way it is with democracy, I feel it's a good system.
Which one is better between democracy and dictatorship according to you?
If I won't say easy, but if we want development, dictatorship is better. If we want peace, democracy is better.
But as we are where we are right now in Zambia, we need dictatorship because there's no development. Because you said dictatorship is better.
There's no development.
No, there's no development. There's no development in Zambia. There is no development.
Okay, not necessarily. Let's not sleep on what is done, but I think it's there. It's just not significant.
And of course, we'll talk about development. To say we are developing when, of course, you haven't gone outside to see what your friends are doing. But if you have to go to other countries and see, that's when you can maybe come back.
Like which country would you compare as Like the way you're saying Zambia is not developing.
South Africa. For me, South Africa is a very, very good example. When did South Africa get their independence?
Wait, they got theirs way after ours, right?
Kaunda helped them.
Yes.
Kaunda helped them to even. Yeah, but of course, some people say South Africa is because they are whites there and all. Yeah, because they are whites, but there are other countries, African countries where there are no whites, but they are doing.
Rwanda.
Yeah. So I think you were saying Rwanda, in Poker Kagame is a dictator. They say he's a dictator. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Development at the cost of what? Peace.
Yeah, so what we need right now is, okay, if you want to do democracy, let's come and do it after 30 years. But as for now, let's go with what we need the most.
It's okay, this is coming from a man of God.
If you're talking of me being a man of God, like God me, I would go for dictatorship, because if you're trying to, like, us, we're supposed to, like, imitate God. Yeah. And God is not, it has nothing to do with democracy.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with democracy. He's a dictator. What you want is what happens. Yeah, so it's nothing like, oh no, democracy, you can go and say, no, God, that's no. There are no such things. He's a dictator. So if he say this is the direction we are taking, that's the direction, which is okay. You know, dictatorship is bad if you are bad dictators. But dictatorship is good if you are good dictators. Like, imagine having a good friend of you who come and take it, say, we are going to class. It means you have a good dictator. What is bad about that? You say, no, I'm not, no, bro, we are going to class. There's nothing wrong about that. What is bad is when you have a dictator who wants to, like, oh, bro, we are going to class. Yeah, such things. That's when it's bad. But if he's dictating the right thing, give him power. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. No, that's I like the opinion of most of these and how they're able to justify it. Now, I would like to believe a business guy, who is quite useful for life. Yeah. So, how do you manage to? Because in our age, our era, a lot of youngsters are failing to run businesses or just ventures of their own because of. There are a lot of factors that affect them. But like, how do you manage to stay afloat, keep up with trends, and how do you plan on scaling your item? Because again, you can't just have a business where every time you just supply 4 cups. You just need to find manufacturing these cups,
Yeah.
Maximizing like how you're going to grow your business.
Talking of growing my business, my thinking is like, I will have to have a lot of source of income. Yeah, like I don't like those, like maybe it's just doing one thing and all that. I like you're doing this, I like that. Because like just to talk of some of like most of my business, I don't only sell spices. Yeah. So what I think I need is to diversify. Yeah, like to have this, not one thing. That's what I need. I think
I need multiple.
Yes, not where you have one. It's not help for a business, because even the Bible talks against that. Oh, yeah, it's there in Ecclesiastes. Talks about having 7 or more businesses, not one. It's there. Yeah. So you have to have the lot, because if the Bible even tells you, you don't know where disaster is coming from. Yeah. So imagine now you only sell spices. You are ordering from South Africa, then there's xenophobia. So it means for maybe 2 months, so you want it. Yeah, so it's better as you are selling spices, you're selling this, you're doing these other things. So personally, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So I also have a question. Talked about growing. Me, I'll still stick to balance. I feel for me, balancing is the biggest thing, regardless of growth.
Yeah.
So my question is about balance. How would you advise people that are in universities? Like, what's your take? Also, in relationships, how do you think they should balance their business, relationship? You talked about. I remember you talked about priorities.
Yeah.
You prioritizing this and that. But then like when you look at your relationship, it's equally a priority.
Yeah.
If you choose to neglect your relationship because of your business, you're at risk of losing that. Equally the same thing with business. So
Yeah.
how do you establish that balance between your relationship, business, school, and for you there's church between others, also another extracurricular activity.
Balancing has always been a challenge. It's not something easy. It's something you're supposed to master. Supposed to know what you are supposed to do at each and every time, which is not again easy. Yeah. So I would say you need to be very sharp and I don't know how, like, quick in everything. Yeah, not where you're supposed to. You shouldn't be taking time in anything you're doing. And do something, do it 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or somewhere else. Me, I move a lot. Like, you want this, for instance, in the morning, I'll be here on campus, maybe 05, 0 shan, maybe my parents will call me to say, we need you here, we need you in this place, and all that. I'll do that very fast. Like, sometimes my parents will call me around. I remember one time my mom called me at 04 to say, I want you to go to Nakonde. So immediately I woke up and then I went at the road and then I went in the morning around 8 hours in Nakonde. So you need to be very quick in whatever you're doing because you don't have time to be studying for 3 hours every day. You don't have time to do business for 4 hours every day. You're supposed to, if at this time you're doing business, make sure you do it fast and to your level best. You are doing school fast to your level best, not where you want to study for 7 hours. How are you going to attend to church? How are you going to attend to your business? How are you going to attend to your girlfriend? So it calls for you to be very sharp, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. I get your point, but the funny thing with what I've come to learn about relationships, you can't tell a relationship.
Yeah.
You can't. Your girlfriend will call you at 04 and they're saying, babe, me, I'm sick. And then there's Kumwenda with the situation going to Nakonde.
Well, she can buy now. Okay.
That's being unchallenged. You're just disregarding the relationship.
Yeah, of course, the lady wants, and if you don't pay attention to her, like if you don't give attention, the relationship might not last for long. Yeah, so you have to, I don't know, it's not easy to balance.
Yes,
and
very difficult.
Especially that you're dealing with people like computers. You can predict to say, if I place here, what will happen is this, but not with people. Yeah, like who would know to say my mom will call me at 04? Anything is possible when you're dealing with people, so it becomes difficult to predict to say what should I do next.
Don't you think also you need to delegate some tasks?
Yeah, that's key. Yeah, suppose like I have some things I'm doing. I'm not like fully involved in some of my businesses. Like I just know to say, okay, there's a business there, it is running, whether I'm there or I'm not there. It also helps. Not where you are. If you have a business, something you're calling a business, and you are supposed to be there for it to run, it's not a business, it's a job.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So you're supposed to have where, even if you're not there, at least something should run.
You just describe my business as a job. Yeah,
yeah, so if you're not there, how? Okay, like imagine if I would say if you are supposed to be there when the business should run, it means you are taking time and money. Yeah, time for money. So it means that which is expensive. We don't have your own time, right? So you're supposed to at least, even if you are not there. I had one man challenged me and said, my goal is to make more money as I'm sleeping than I can spend when I'm awake. Which is okay, which is possible. Like for these things to do it now, you can post this on YouTube, people can be viewing as you are sleeping, which is okay. Yeah, so the idea, I think that's making more money. That's you can spend when you're awake.
So if you were to like advise the young men, and because that's our audience. Yeah. So what would you advise them? Like, what ideas pitch them when it comes to business? What would you advise looking at the schools?
Yeah. I would say mostly for businesses to fail, it's caused for lack of information and all that. Because there are some people, I'm sure there are some people who be selling clothes and their business is booming, and others are selling clothes, but yeah, so it calls for you to understand the business you want to go into. yeah, you're supposed to understand it to say, oh, this business I'm able to run. Because me, I sell spices, apples. It's not something I just started from now. I've been doing it, my family has been doing it, I understand. I don't like, I get my spices and my apples in Lusaka, but I've never been to Lusaka to get spices or whatever, unless when I was in secondary school and food one. All these spices I've been selling for the past 4 years, they have just been coming without being. So it means I understand the business, I know where I can get the stuffs and all that. So if imagine now you say, okay, when this business is running proper, so let me also start selling spices. You might fail because you don't know where I get, how much I get, such stuff. So I think you're supposed to identify first the problem. Maybe you see to say what can we have here? It's because if you have what others are doing, which is also okay, you can do a business which your friends are doing. If you have a business which your friend is doing, it means you are going to share the customers. So it's up to you, because if you want to go into a business where you can share the customers, or you want all the customers to be yours. I think for me, most of the time, I was only a person selling spices and apples. Yeah, so I never had competition. So it's up to you to identify a business which maybe you think, let's say there's no butchery, you can start that, and then it means you have customers already. Yeah, and then you have to study what people like. It calls for a lot of studying.
Yeah, problem identification. I'm working within that stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about entrepreneurship was the whole problem identification.
Yeah.
Solution going to solve the problem and all that.
Yeah, and mostly when people try to define business, people sometimes think of selling and buying. I think for me, I like that definition where they say solving other people's problem for money, because that's the idea. If you talk of lawyers, they are businessmen. What do? They save someone from going to jail, for that they get paid. That's business. Yeah. So if you start thinking of business of I have to sell something to get, no, you shouldn't think of that. You should have to solve a problem for money. Have to solve. Some people may just be okay. Some do like that, data analysis, and for that they get money. Yeah, so we have supposed to know to say it has nothing to do with the selling and buying, but solving other people's problem for money. And the more problems we have, like the way complain to say, oh, here there is no this, here there is no this, it means that's business. Yeah. But I don't know, I wonder why we complain about
people complain about certain things.
Yeah.
Just really.
We are going to town, such stuff. Bring the same things people follow to town.
People tend to overthink most of the time. I think that's one reason why we have a lot of businesses that are like the majority of the businesses. Okay, not just here, but like in Zambia, like a lot of businesses are from outside. You talk about ShopRite, all those things are like from outside. Most of the Zambians, they tend to overthink people.
But the thing with these that's your business. They're very tactical in the way they do certain things. Why do I choose a Zambian? You want to establish like a supermarket like that, but obviously there's going to be some sort of way they're going to hinder yourselves. Trust me, these guys are very smart with the way they do their stuff.
Of course, you cannot compare yourself
to ShopRite. Those guys are very
that's one of our challenges, I would say. Because mostly we have products we trust and some we don't trust. And we trust more of international products than our local products.
India defense quality.
It's something bad, because let's say someone opens a shop similar to ShopRite, just the ShopRite, and he just name it by his name or whatever. People are like this. But if we just have to say there is a shop like there, people will be flocking.
It's true. Yeah. I want to be right. Sometimes there ain't really matter about quality. I was selling cocktails, and another person selling cocktails with way more ingredients than I had. But for this, just because of my name, people go, it's George Bosses, I'm selling cocktails. They go and buy exactly what he's trying to show. So it's the brand. So the brand is also something that hinders.
Yeah, because the brand is very important. Because even if you talk of we have restaurants in town and all that. But if someone is talking about chicken, the person will be talking about angular. Yeah, because they have built their name or whatever. So you cannot compete with them, and we don't have just local products.
Yeah, but I think most people are opening up to local products, local content. Yeah, we hope to.
We should also just work on the way we put out our own products as well. You know, see why I talk about building a brand. When you have a brand, people will trust that brand because of the way it's being put out. So just like the way you wear out your spices and all that stuff. So because we know say Kumwenda has good spices, even if you deal with great spices that was second grade, you still buy from you. Why? Because you built your needs. So that's what I'm saying, the way we carry ourselves off the products. Even these people that are bringing in products from the market, I think they should work for it. They should work more on how they market their products. Look at Ep6. Those guys can have they can have a shitty drink there, but people will still buy.
Yeah.
Because it's big. Have you seen this fit drink, this energy drink that looks like anything? That drink is bad. I want to be like it's terrible. Marketing is good, and people still buy it. Yeah. Just like Vajra.
Yeah, like if you are talking about that, I'm talking about
Yeah, eating on my own Vajra is a very good product.
You think so?
I'm kidding. Okay, what brand is it?
Okay, no, Vajra, they're everywhere. They make sure that
It's good. It's good.
in a business. I think one of the most important things is marketing. I guess
that's really good.
Yeah, they used to watch this to my advocates. You see, they make sure to say everyone know about their product.
Actually, participated in some. See, it's not about marketing. I participated in this thing when they said we should make trailers. I think that was like in 2019. They said we should make trailers, movie trailers, and then you should also advertise the product for what. So that's like growing their market. Initially, people making the videos, you are buying their product, advertising for them, advertising the product. So it moves. So it's just a circulation, it's the way we market our thing. So I think also what I would advise, like the new entrepreneurs, market this one. People work more on marketing the products. As the bigger, the bigger entrepreneurs, they should target the bigger audience.
Yeah, then also I think money issues, financial issues.
Yes.
Like a lot of people, okay, the pressure is our generation. We think when I start the business, 2 months from now, I must get the highlights, I must get so, bro, because it's hard, but you can't have money in your account and
Yeah,
it's been
yours. Yeah, sometimes it blocks them. I don't know. Most of the things do it to impress the second person. Like, we even get things we don't need just for the sake of showing off. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of, when it comes to finances, that I don't know, but I think we'll make money out of that. But because what I feel is school has nothing to do with money. If, for instance, like if you get your child to school and expect the child to get all the education from the same schools and all that, just not to say your child won't know anything about money because there's no course on money.
Yeah.
If they want to teach you anything to do with money ethic, they will teach you things like I'm doing fishes and that's how we have a course called fisheries management, agriculture management, things to do with management. Not how to work. They will just it means to manage, it means the thing doesn't belong, but you are just assisting, in helping on how to maintain the safety. That's what they do. So we need to, learn a lot. We need teachers about money. We need teachers.
I think I get this point. It's more that thing where you don't learn how to manage the system. You need to learn how to create the system.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good point. That's one another thing. University change. imagine, yeah, they leave their church, and then they had a problem. Yeah, so we need alcohol, or we need cigarettes, or okay, let's just say a business that involves things that
Those things we consider to be bad at church.
Yes, and the problems that we have.
Or the church considers alcohol to be bad.
I don't think so.
Okay, what I would say is, they consider alcohol to be bad. I don't know if, okay. I have a problem that I wouldn't want to say much about it, but as church, we consider alcohol to be bad. Personally, not based on church, I just don't like I consider it, but not.
Have you tasted it?
No. Yeah.
Oh,
you mean the reason I say it is bad is because I haven't tested it?
Maybe, yeah.
I know beer is nice, like when it comes to like taste and how people feel after they take it. I know it's nice because if it wasn't nice, who would take it? But what I don't like about beer is like once like if I later I'm drunk now, right? It means maybe tomorrow like my day will start when that's over.
Oh yeah.
Which is not okay with me. Yeah, because it's not okay with me. So
would you judge others? Because I think there are a lot of people who are famous, they are like the pastors, bishops, but they run fast.
Yeah, so that's what my question came from. It wasn't necessarily about people drinking. It's just you being somebody that's so exactly just the kind of places now. You're not in favor of beer or smoking, and then let's say those are the problems that we have, and that's what we need. When you as a businessman, yes, you identify those problems, and now you're supposed to solve them. So what would be your take? Would you just die broke, or or you sacrifice
I would say what I consider to be bad, not based on change. Like just what I consider based on what I consider to be bad. I wouldn't want to say such things. Yeah, if I consider, for instance, I consider beer to be bad, but I don't consider smoking to be bad. Yeah, because like most of the people who smoke, they don't have much of problems. Like you can smoke and go to class, there's no problem. But if you are young, you can't. Yeah, so I would say when you talk of beer, the problem mostly, I have a problem with beer based on how people behave after they take beer and all that. You rarely see such things with people who are like, I think those people who just smoke, they don't have a problem. And me, sometimes I have a problem with the way the way we identify what is bad and what is good. Like, if you talk of beer, it will be bad. Okay, personally, I've told you guys, not to say beer is bad, based on the way I think about it. But I don't think it's from the bad way I see it. So if you are talking of me saying beer, I cannot only say because of what I understand about beer, not to say the bad was to say don't say beer. Because most of the things, like most of these things we say to be bad, especially when you talk of Christianity, I think most of them, that's who have come up with them to say they are not bad.
Also, they are not necessarily when they're religious or from the church, it's just ideologies that people from the church are now.
I think that's what I would say. Like, the same not good. And like you're only confident to talk against what you don't see. What you do.
Like, be quiet. Talking about drinking,
yeah, so if I start talking, me, I can talk bad about beer, but you can't talk about beer. But someone who, so imagine now, if maybe past time and then I don't drink this and then see someone drinking, maybe that's not, maybe it's a problem, I don't know.
Then you just sum everything up. That's what my take on the business thing. For me, I feel like you have to look the other way sometimes. If you want to be rich, a very rich person, you have to look the other way.
Yeah,
there are situations where the business you are going to do is going to create problems. But you know, it's so obvious. You want money. Let me give an example of, I'm not just advocating for it. Yet, you know, they're watching. So I'm just saying. Like, yeah, let's just look at the way people sell marijuana. Wait. It's a problem. Like, it causes problems. But when you look at the profit that you're getting in as a business, looking at it from a business point of view, the whole point of doing business is making as much money as you can. As he said, yes, as fast as you can, as much as you can. That shouldn't involve much effort. You know, people are going to follow you. That's something that's not easily found. You know, you don't just go to a shop and buy weed. You have to follow something. So now you're creating a need. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how would you view businesses that create problems? Would you say it's good? I mean, on a perspective where people are still making a lot of money, regardless of it being bad.
Like you're selling
yes, selling an unhealthy product, but you're making money off of it. So, how would you say it from a personal point of view and a business point of view?
I think, like I said, the idea of money.
Hey! No! Okay, just to wind up with the episode, must be run out of time, guys. When a few words first.
Yeah, I would want to leave you with something. I think it's very important. Among the things I've said, I would just, one thing which we should understand is that we live in a fast changing world, that the world is always changing. Of course. Yeah. So what I'll give the audience and you guys is, I'll leave you with one quote, I think. It says, in the time of change, the learners will inherit the air, and the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with the world no longer existing. What it means is, like, we are staying in a fast changing world. So the learners, it means those who are always learning. There's the learners and the learned. So the learned will find themselves they will find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with the world no longer existing. Like, imagine if you learned teaching 5 years, 10 years ago. Things have changed now, we have AI and all that. So that person can't keep up with what it is now. So those, like, whether you are considering to be down or whatever, but as long as it's learning, it's better than the learned. That's all. So even when we are doing this podcast and all those things, one thing which you should understand is that you have to be changing. Things are changing. So you cannot be doing the same things. So this podcast we have done, the next one which you are going to do should be better than this one. Because the world is changing, and then if you keep doing the same thing, so the next week the world will never be the same. So it means you're supposed to keep up. So what do? You yourselves try to adapt to how can we do it better? If you just find a way of doing everything and doing better, even when you're doing business, the idea is that how can I do it better than I was doing it yesterday? How can I reach more people? So the idea is always want to learn, always want to do new things. So find a way. I know you are able to do that because we are creative. So we're supposed to be learning. Know which way is not doing the same things over and over.
Mr. Kumwenda, it was nice having you on. This was a nice conversation. In the meantime, we didn't allow us to continue.
And you can say it's really important. Me as well. I learned some stuff. Guys, thank you for having us for this episode. Names at Shinike Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave comments, guys. Please.
Comment, guys. Subscribe, guys.
And that's what you
share,
guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
No. Damn it.